So, really quickly, a lot is made when new fighters come into Bellator with undefeated records. And so, going into this matchup against Levan, um, is there anything for you that is really concerning, or just an area that you want to focus on going up against an undefeated fighter who, in other promotions, has been known for like aggressive striking and stand up? How do you go into this? What's the plan?
You know, it's a common wrestler versus striker matchup, and majority of the time, the guys that have my background win these fights. Uh, you know, he's 9-0 with 9 finishes or something like that. Because the last fight, he fought a wrestler and was taken down, 4 or 5 different times. So, and if me and that guy he fought was the wrestler, I would smash him. So I'm not too worried about any man and what they do. I'm just worried about what I can control, and going in there and doing what I do best, and that's now this camp I've been able to really put things together and do it against really high level guys. So I'm not too focused on this guy like that. I'm more focused on doing what I'm supposed to do and going out there and looking to finish this dude.
Awesome. And with that, let's say that happens. Do you believe that with that you should be looked at as somebody that should be entering the rankings in the welterweight division?
Yeah, I mean, um, I'm not. I wouldn't say that you should just view me like that yet, but I definitely think that with time coming, I feel like I'll definitely be one of the best in the world, and how I train and the things that I do. It's going to be hard to stop. It's going to be hard for people to stop. I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in. I'm at the highest level that I've been since I've started training. The longer this goes, and you, the longer my career goes, and this is going to be the tougher I'm going to get. And I think the Kyle that was my last fight, I think that I finished that guy. So, I'm just we're focused on getting better and focused on what's at stake this fight, and then after this fight, I'll look and see and things like that, and we'll talk to my coaches, and yeah, if they move me in the top 10, I'll definitely be ready for it.
So Kyle, you obviously you fought back in October on the Bellator 249 card. So you've experienced the fight sphere without fans in attendance. Then obviously this is the first Bellator event with fans back here in attendance. Can you kind of speak on that, the differences, and what you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think last fight was really eerie feeling. It's been a really long time since I've competed with no fans. And when I was in college, we wrestled at Oklahoma State. I wrestled at Oklahoma State, and we wrestled in front of thousands of fans damn near every week. I wrestled in front of 42,000 one time, and had a really good performance. So, I think fans are what make sports in general fun, and it gets you hyped. It's exciting, and a lot of guys fold underneath that. And for me, if you go look at my track record and the sports that I've competed in, when there's a lot of fans, the better I do. So, I'm just excited to hear people talking and people booing and cheering or however they want to do it. But there's nothing like having fans involved with what you're doing.
Steve?
Hi Kyle, it's Steve from MMA Lowdown. So that resilience that you've shown after your first loss has been really great and inspiring to see. Now, I'm just curious to see, so the confidence you've got coming into this fight, is that partly built by the fact that you spar and train with absolute killers like Islam and Khabib? So when it comes to getting into the cage with people who, quote unquote, have a kind of padded record, does that feel less intimidating coming into the cage?
I mean, anytime you are waking up on a Monday morning and going to your training, knowing that you're going to spar Habib or Islam or one of those other high level guys that we could just go down the list at, that I feel more. I guess you would say nervous there than I do for a guy like this. So you're sparring Habib. It's going to be hard just to take him down and do the things that you normally do. You're in there, and it's war for 2 or 3 rounds, however many rounds you go with him, and then you got a guy like Islam who will be the next 155-pound champ in the UFC, and he's not very small. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him, but he's a big guy. So, yeah, I mean, like right before I got here, I was training with those guys and learning and still, progressing and doing the things that I do best. And, yeah, I mean, once you have guys like that as training partners and you see how they go out and make things look so effortlessly against, much better opponents than the guys that I'm fighting right now, they're fighting the top level and you're competing with them. I mean, there's not much you can look at and not be confident about. So, I'm a confident guy in general. I think any MMA fighter, if you don't have that confidence, I think it'll end up biting you in your ass. So, for me, man, I'm confident. I have great training partners, great coaches, and I come from one of the best camps, if not the best camp in the world. And, I'm just looking to keep doing what I'm doing and progressing.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Best of luck. Can't wait.
Santiago?
Hi Kyle, greetings from Amsterdam and thank you for the time. So you already talked a little bit about your camp at AKA. Who helped you out specifically for this fight camp? Do you have a small group who you work with?
No, I mean, honestly, man, we have a very good structure at AKA, and we have, like I said, I have great coaches, and everyone's involved, and everyone's trying to help everybody get better. There's no real focus on just me. I mean, I have teammates that are trying to get better as well, and and if they're pushing themselves to get better, then that means that they're helping me. So, I wouldn't say I have a small team or my own thing going. AK, I don't. I have coaches that care. I have coaches that put me in positions, that will help me get to where I need to be. And I have a great team, man, and I'm surrounded by nothing but killers, and as much as they're killers, they're great people. So, I'm just excited to do what I do best, and that's compete.
Daniel Cormier is one of the most loved people in all of MMA, and he's such a competitor. How special was it for you to have DC around you, and how did he influence your career?
I mean, he just called me before I got in here, so he's constantly checking on me. He, I see him every day pretty much, and at first it was kind of like, whoa, that's DC, but as the time went on, man, that's like my big bro now. We talk about everything. We trash talk each other about, video games. We help coach our kids club and things like that. So, I mean, anytime you have a figure like that around who's had success in this sport and seen it all, and and he's the one that's giving me, the final decisions on who I'm fighting right now, and I just feel very comfortable with him, and I know he cares, So when you have a guy like that's an influence, and you've got to see him go through some of the the hardest camps and biggest camps of any MMA fighter's career, you pull from that blueprint, and you don't make up your own. You just follow that, and and I know it's going to work for me, and I know that I'll end up being a world champion at some point.
Ed?
Hi, Kyle. Ed Carbajal with MMAnews.com. When you were talking about having no fans and versus fans, you used the word eerie to describe the silence in the arena. I was just wondering, does that actually mess with your performance when you walk in the cage and the first bell goes?
No, because at the end of the day, there's someone across from you trying to knock your head off. So, I mean, it was just different. It was definitely different. But as much as I did lose that fight. I mean, if there's a lot of people who also say I won, I feel like I had a breakout, as far as not using my best weapon and going out there and just, standing up with a very tough guy for 3 rounds. And, I feel like I had a really good performance from where I was in my career at that time. And, and any time you do something like that, step out of your comfort zone and, I mean, I'm a wrestler, man. I just started hitting mitts and stuff 3 years ago. So, and I went out and fought a very tough guy who's been fighting for about 10 years, and and I competed well. So, no, I mean, no fans. At the end of the day, I'm a competitor, man, and that's just something that is in my blood.
Well, thank you.
Abraham?
Hey Kyle, it's Abraham from the Fight League Report. You mentioned in camp that you finally started putting it all together. Were there any significant changes in camp or maybe in your life that has you much more confident now entering this next fight?
No, I mean, man, when you work as hard as I do, and you're around guys that are working as hard, and they're getting ready for fights, and they're getting ready and doing the things that they're trying to get themselves prepared. I feel like you gain confidence from that, and that's something that I got to see. I've been around guys that are getting ready for fights this whole camp, and I have teammates that can wrestle, I have teammates that can strike, I have teammates that are great on the ground, and so I have a bunch of different looks, and I wouldn't say there was a specific moment. I just worked my ass off for 9 weeks this camp, and got myself in the best shape I can, and we have a game plan, and I mean that's really all you can ask for is those things. That's where you get your confidence from, and if I can execute what I've been executing in this camp, I see myself dominating this fight.
Last one, Dylan.
Hey there, Kyle. Appreciate you making the time. I was just curious because, much has been made of your AKA training, and understandably so, but just with like the deeper wrestling lineage you have there, like I'm noticing with cowboy wrestling, OSU, you got, Daniel Cormier as has been mentioned, but also Randy Couture, Johnny Hendricks. Like, does that compound the motivation level, just, wanting to be part of a similar lineage of MMA success?
Yeah, I mean, man, I think, I haven't obtained things that those guys have obtained, but I feel like I've been pretty successful so far as stepping in and not just being a complete dud. So, I feel like there's not like an added pressure or anything from that. It's cool to be from that. It's like it's a blessing. It's a privilege to wrestle at Oklahoma State. There's not one man that's bigger than the program, and you see guys that go on and win world championships, Olympic titles, and you're trained under the greatest of all time with John Smith, and once you're able to see all these high level guys and their mentalities and get that kind of bestowed in you a little bit, there's not much that's gonna sway my confidence from anything. And like I said, man, it's been a blessing. I've trained with Johnny before he fought GSP for about 6 weeks. I've been around Daniel Cormier's camps. I've never met Randy, but if we ever did meet, we would be able to probably share some very similar wrestling stories. So it's cool, man. It's a blessing, and being a Cowboy is for me, it was a lifelong dream.